Good morning. Today is Tuesday, March 2nd, and it's a white cohort day. Scope will meet in person and via Zoom today and virtually only tomorrow at 3:10. Members are asked to come with your letters to community members done and sent in by tomorrow's meeting. Brain Bee will meet in a combined in-person and virtual meeting today from 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. in Streeter 241. The Zoom link will be emailed to current members. Interested in joining? Email Mr. Eckel at edwin.eckel@stjlabs.com. The Gay Straight Union will be meeting on Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. in Ranger 210. If you would like to attend in person or via Zoom, please email Mr. Quinn at emmett.quinn@stjlabs.com for more information. The Math Club will be meeting this week on Wednesday and Thursday, in person and via Zoom. This week, we are tackling round 1 of the MathCon competition. This is an online-only competition, so make sure to bring your devices. Please look for an email from Mr. Stapleford and Mr. Kinsella for the Zoom links. Happy birthday today to Daniel Howd, Elias Tusi Bisu, and Ruben Moses. Happy birthday. In sports, today we have JV and varsity girls basketball at CVU at 5 and 6:30. Please excuse the teams at 2:05 p.m. In late announcements, the Kingdom Blades have moved to a season record of 4-0 with a victory this past Saturday against Burr and Burton. The Blades defeated the Bulldogs by a score of 4-0. For the Blades, Academy athletes Holly Stein and Lizzie Duranlo both scored, and Lizzie Duranlo also recorded an assist. Courtney Lewis recorded her first shutout of the season, tallying 12 saves in goal. Congratulations, Blades, and have a great day.
Hi, my name is Victoria Scher, and this is Theodora Montague. We are members of the Student Government's Environmental and Composting Committee, which is dedicated to creating initiatives to help our planet through school-based actions and promoting environmental literacy.
Climate change and environmental degradation are serious problems. The Environmental and Composting Committee has selected a video which has been sent out to advisors. Please take some time, either as an advisory or the link can be sent out to students, to watch the first 4 minutes of the video to understand why it is important to care for our planet. Thank you.
Thank you to you both, and thank you, Nathan. Advisors will probably have time for that tomorrow. You may have time for it today. Just have a few thoughts to share with you this morning. You've heard me say many times from this stage that there are 2 things in life that we can control: our attitude and our effort. In a time when we've been tested in this pandemic for nearly a year, it's been difficult, even for people like myself, to continue to focus on things in my life in which I can control. But did you know that human nature sometimes pushes the negative bias that exists in our brain? In fact, we as humans need to work against what our brain has been asking us to do when we struggle to see the positive in the situation. While we all know that our brain is a very useful tool, we also need to acknowledge that it has that negativity bias built in. It means that when we wake up, for instance, to the wind that is whipping through our windows, and the temperature reads that it's 1 degree while it feels as though it's -19, we might immediately notice and perseverate over how miserable it might be outside. Or we might think about a person who enters our classroom or our advisory or our office with an angry expression on their face, and rather look at the positive and thinking about what's possible about being together here in school in a warm, safe environment today, we focus maybe what's on the negative. The brain is a funny but complex bundle of mush that happens in our skulls. What you might not know, though, is that it tends to perceive those negative stimuli a little bit faster and a little bit more intensely than the positive stimuli. With 1/10 of a second, we can store negative stimuli in our memory. Big portions of our brain and our neural system activate in response to what's a perceived threat or negative impact. So that bitter cold that you have faced this morning, or that grumpy office mate or classmate that maybe have showed up today with some negative vibes because of the cold temperatures. Maybe you've had a frustrating assignment that pushed you through last night and made you a little bit more frustrated because we're back in school, or that angry email that perhaps that you have written or received. They all tend to sit there a little bit longer than a positive action that might have happened to us already in that day. In fact, when you make the comparison, positive experiences are harder for us to spot and must be formed for 12 seconds before we retain them in our memories. Pause and think about that one for a second. Danger or negativity lodges itself in our brain within 1/10 of a second, whereas a positive experience requires at least 12 seconds to be absorbed. That's a significant difference. So what if today, and you all know how much I love the winter and how cold it gets here. So what if today, what if in our brains we notice something that's perceived as a negative and we tell ourselves in that moment, right now, everything is okay, and direct our attention to something that's a little bit more neutral or perhaps even positive, like the passing of a friend in the hallway, or the student who's already pulled out their work when they arrive to the classroom early and they're ready to go, eager to learn. Or the welcoming look that you might have on your colleague's face when you finally make it to the door in the brisk temperatures, and they're smiling and saying, "Oh, I'm glad to see you. It's good to have you here." Managing our brain's negative bias is a daily practice, but like anything, it can turn into a habit of mind. I think about this when I think about something that our girls' basketball team has chosen this year as a slogan. They've decided to rise above. The ideas themselves came from the players. And the shirt that they have designed has some rays of sunshine as a constant reminder to rise above. So in this time, when there are so many factors to stimulate our brains to be in the negative space, perhaps today we can think and direct our attention to that which we can control and work intentionally today on an attitude and an effort that allows us to be in this space together, to let us rise above the negative circumstances and turn inward to the brighter spots inside these walls that we share together. Even when the temperature attempts to control our negative bias, let's rise above. Even when the temperature attempts to control our negative bias, let's look for those rays of sunshine within our walls. Please don't miss the message. Not everything in life is sunshine and rainbows, and I get that. However, it's more what we bring ourselves to and how we bring ourselves to the day, and what we choose to focus on and what we choose to look to control. Perhaps when we do that, we can look for the good that's within all of us. I hope you have a great day. Stay warm. We'll see you soon.